Hello everyone, I'm Victor and this is Chorus. Chorus is an interactive creative platform where your body becomes the brush. Instead of using a mouse or a drawing tablet, you create digital art using your voice, facial expressions and hand gestures. The goal is to make creativity feel natural, expressive and collaborative. Let me show you how it works. So, when you open Chorus, you are introduced to 5 different modes. The first is Soul mode. Here you create your artwork on your own using a collection of brushes, including pens, markers, neon effects, and spray tools. Your emotions detected through your facial expressions dynamically influence the colors of the particles. Your voice can control colors and particle movements, while your hand gestures allow you to interact with the canvas without touching the screen. The next mode is the collective mode. Here, multiple people can join the same shared canvas and create artwork together in real time. There's also a competitive game arena, which is like mini games, where players participate in team drawing challenges. At the end of each round, if there are not many people, an AI judge evaluates every artwork and selects the winner based on creativity and execution. The third experience is mirror mode. Instead of displaying a traditional webcam feed, Chorus recreates your face using thousands of animated particles. You can choose different visual styles, use it as a live avatar during calls, record creative clips, and even monitor how your mood changes over time. The fourth feature is WebForge. Here you here you simply sketch the layout of a website. An AI transforms your drawing into a complete working website with both the front end and back end automatically generated. This dramatically reduces the time needed to turn an idea into a functional application. And finally, there's Sculpt. Instead of drawing on a flat canvas, you create directly in three-dimensional space using hand movements. You can sculpt landscapes, objects, or abstract art, then export it as GBL or GLB or STL files, or even use them in augmented reality experiences. So through the platform, you can your face, voice, and hand work together as creative instruments. Your emotions influence the color palette. Your gesture manipulate particles and brushes, and your voice become another way to control the artwork. The result is an experience that feels much more immersive than traditional digital drawing. So now let's go and test all these features to see how they actually work. Firstly, you need to create an account here with a sign-in. If you don't want to create an account with your email, there is a test account that I have made. You can simply just type in test@gmail.com and the password is 126123456. Here is the test account which you can go in. So after you log in, you're introduced to this button right here. There is the menu which you can go through all the different modes in the project, or you can scroll down and click here if you have like some of the modes. So here is the first mode, the Soul mode, which basically is a canvas, but what's unique is that you can draw with your gestures. So here is the particles. This is the first brush. It's called Chorus brush. Here are the instruments, and if you select this, it's a hand draw. You can see the eye here start to go like this. And here is me. Hello everyone. So yeah, now you can show your hand and you see this little circle is start moving. It's following my gestures. Now if I make this, it start drawing. If I want to stop, so I just make this pose. And it follows my hands, but it's not drawing. Now, to be a little bit more easier, I will turn on the voice commands. Now the project listens to my voice, and when I say clear, yeah, it clears the canvas. I can use this to change the colors. There's in every mode there is this book. Here you can read down all the instructions and the functionalities that this mode provides. So yeah, with these different commands, it's more useful for people with disabilities to impress their arts. For example, I can start drawing. Here you can see. And now I can say yellow, and it picks the yellow color. So now I can start drawing yellow. I can use different colors like red. It's a little bit shy. So green. Yeah, you can see red. Yeah, my accent is not very good, and it sometimes didn't understand what I'm saying. But I think if you try it, it will be a little more easier. So there are many different colors, many different commands. You can switch the type of brush by saying a word, or you can click here. Here are different types. Personally, this is my favorite one. They're like little sparkles, which I really like. You can create a really impressive art. So there are different pens. You can go with different lines and all the other feature. Here's like a dot. You can add an arrow. So let me clear it because it has become messy. You can add more circles, more figures like circle, square, triangle, stars, and so on. You can add hearts. You can add arrows, and if you want, here's the bucket. You can fill your covers, your figures. You can add. Oh, sorry. Oh. You can add a text here, like if we say hello. We can either talk to it or we can just and goes, but it's now with red cover and it didn't see it clearly. So when I say clear, yeah, I'm just going to click. So yeah, you can add a text. Here is the voice, which when you draw, when your voice is more louder, the brush becomes more bigger, and when your voice is more quiet, your brush becomes more smaller. For example, if I start talking louder, you can see now the brush is a little bit bigger, and if I talk quiet, you can see the brush is not very bigger. Yeah. You can edit also. You can move some object if you want, or you can click delete and delete this object. If you don't want to delete it, there's the rubber. Here you can change how big to be and delete some of the objects. And here's the color picker. Another thing that the instrument include is the image. So if I have some image, for example this dog image, I can pick a color. Here you can see it changes the color, and I can now start drawing with this color. Yeah. So you can add your images and you can edit them in this project. Another feature that Chorus contains is the mirror mode. Here you can see. So now if I change to this brush and turn a little bit more smaller, you can see it starts going to draw from the two sides. Like there is a bridge in the middle, and it copies your movements, which makes you more easier to draw some figures, for example. Let me clear. The other feature is emotions. Here, Chorus reacts to your emotions. Like when you're focused, your color is green. When you're angry, your color is red. When you're happy, your color is yellow. And when you're sad, your color is blue, dark blue. But when you're surprised, your color is white blue. For example, when I start drawing something, and now if I become happy, like for example smile, you can see the color turns yellow. If I become angry, now it's red. If I'm surprised, it turns a white blue, and if I'm sad, it turns dark blue. So this is pretty amazing feature that you can express your emotion through a drawing. You can change the how much bigger your canvas should be. You can rotate your canvas. For example, if I draw something to see clearly, I can rotate it upside down if I don't like it, or I can go back if I draw something. For example, this, I can turn it back. So another thing here is that you can, if the camera if you don't like where the camera sits, you can hide it. But this doesn't stop your drawing. For example, when I click here, I can still draw, but my camera won't. You can see my camera. So if you want to see the camera, you just click this button back, and here is me again. You can change the position of the camera if you don't like where it is, and when you click this button, it goes back. So another thing that, let's make some drawing. Another thing that Chorus includes is that you can export your image like as a PNG, as a JPEG, or as a WebP. You just click here export, and you can see here's our drawing. When you're finished drawing your drawing, you click here save. The project Chorus asks you to make a title. You can change it. For example, let's do this demo video. And now you can add a description, which is optional. And the most interesting part is that you can generate poem. In this way, you can express your feelings and your emotions, not only with drawing, but with words. The whole process is that when you're drawing, it analyzes your emotion, and depending on what emotion you had during your process, it generates you a poem that is about your emotions. Here you can see when you click save, it starts generating a poem for this drawing and for my emotions. And yeah, you can see your fingers rest against the wood. And here's the full poem that you can share it on your social channel on the platform or on the archive. Yeah, your finger rests against the wood, untroubled, and so on. You can close it. Your project is now safe, so we can live without saving. And if we go to archive, here is the our drawing with the poem, which we can download it again, we can edit it, we can share it to social, or close it. Let's now see the collective mode, what it is about. Here is two types of collective mode, shared canvas and a game arena. Like I said, the game arena is basically a mini games. Here are five different types of mini games. Here is the mix of all the times. Here is the Pictionary. It gives you a picture that you need to make it the same as possible. Here is the imposter. This game is for 3 or more people. In this game, people have a prompt of what to draw, but one is an imposter and have a different prompt from the others. And in the end, by the drawing it had made, the others should choose who is the imposter and to find the imposter with a different prompt. Here is basically draw, where they compete for time. Here is the memory, which memorize the picture of another player, and you need to make it the same. And here is the blind, where you draw without seeing anything. So there are different types of round time and different types of rounds. You can add a nickname. Now, if we go here, you can you can change your nickname. It's basically your nickname from the profile when you have registered. You make one, and here it is the same. You can change it or stay like this. Now you can create a shared conversation, and yeah, hello, it's me again. Here is the shared conversation. Here you can express your emotions with these emojis. There is the brush with different types of brush elements, and the whole settings that are seen also in the solo mode. Here you can edit your you can delete your canvas if you don't like what you have drawn. Here are also with the gestures. For example, here you can see I am drawing with my hand. So yeah, you can draw with your voice, with your emotions, and so on. Like here, if I talk a little bit louder, you can see it becomes more bigger. And if I go quiet, it changes. Yeah, the emotion is like when I'm happy, for example. Yeah, it becomes yellow. It's basically like the soul mode. So let's clear for now. Yeah. And if you want to draw with someone, you can say this code to them, or you can click here and copy and share them. You can also chat with your friend here, like I'm going to say hi, and in the session chat everyone sees it. Here's also the button for the instructions, and here is the end of the session. Let's now go to the mirror mode. When we click here, And yeah, this is basically the mirror mode. Here's my avatar, which is, like I said, thousands of particles combined to recreate your unique face. Here you can see, and it changes the colors based on your emotions, like in the previous modes. For example, when I'm happy, it becomes yellow. When I am surprised, it becomes light blue. When I'm sad, it becomes dark blue, and it's tell you what emotion you have. Now I'm focused, and when I'm angry, it becomes red, and so on. So there's different types of avatars. You can choose between the pre-made characters, for example, this cat, or you can create a drawing. This is some drawing that I have created. You can create a custom avatar by customizing the size of everything in the face, for example, the forehead or the eyes, the jaw, and it's something a little bit funnier. You can draw your own like you saw. Use this, and now it becomes my avatar, this drawing. So this avatar is used in the all other modes, for example in the solo mode or the collective one. You can choose in the profile settings to display this avatar, not your real camera. So if you want, you can create your custom avatar and to see as an avatar, not as a real person like here. You can also add on effects. For example, now I'm on lens, and when I go here, you can see there's different types of effects that I can test. There is a full view of the effect, not only to follow my hand. Here are all the others effects. Yeah, and all this you can use in the different modes. For example, what more is when you talk, there can be an animation. For example, when I open my mouth, a note star appearing. You can choose hearts, and here are different animation, which is a cool effect. You can see also your hand to test how it will look. Here is my hand, and to test how I will draw, you can see here it follows my finger, like. So yeah, this is about the effects. It can choose your avatar to change of your emotion. Now it's purple, and when I'm happy, it won't changes if this effect is not turned on. Here's also the voice commands. When I say it, for example, take a photo, you can see saved download from the gallery. It took the photo, and you can see it in the gallery or in the archive. Here is the instruction, the field guide about this mode. Every mode has its own instruction. You can see it for yourself, and you can go here as a full screen, or you can record it as a clip. For example, when I start recording, you can see it starts recording, and when I stop, example, when I start recording, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So you can also take a photo by this button. Basically, this is the home mode to customize your avatar character. And if we go to the profile or in the archive, here is our video and our photo. Now let's talk about the scope mode. So the scope mode is basically something between Paint 3D and Blender. It has all functionalities like Paint 3D, like 3D pen, which you can write down some words or make some figures. So it has also the solid, the render, and the wire mode. Here you can add some figures, like for example cube, cylinder, sphere, and all others. Here is the 3D pen, which you can also draw with your mouse, or you can draw with fingers, with your hand gestures, and also you can change the colors based on your emotions. So this is about the 3D pen. Here you can draw a vase. You just simply have to make a form of a vase, and when we click create, you can see here is the vase. which we made. So another thing, you can extrude, you can draw a closed shape. For example, if we want some custom shape, we just make this and click create. There's also another option about the depth and bevel, but we're going to leave this like this. And you can see here is our figure, which is basically a 3D object. So if you don't like the properties of the figure, you can change it here, you can change the color and all other things. Another feature that it includes is that you can create a terrain. You can create a custom terrain, for example, like this, mountains, and when you click on them and hold your mouse, the mountains start growing and they go higher and higher. You can add some object to the mountains. For example, when you click here, you can add some trees. You can add rocks, for example, and even grass. So you can, with this, you can make a custom terrain for maybe some video game and so on. So here is a clear button if you don't like what you have drawn. So let's now test the live mode. Let me grab the pen, and if we draw some word, for example hi, and click this live button, you can see it start growing depending on how my voice is louder. If my voice is louder, it's start to grow brighter. Here you can see and it starts to go brighter, which I find really cool. You can do a really cool animations. You can record it, record your performance. You can change the intensity if you don't like to be this much brighter. Here, when I stop talking, you can see it becomes more not very lighter. So this is about this home mode. Here is the instructions. If you haven't understand something, you can always go here and read more about this mode. You can also export your 3D object as GOB or OBH, CTL, PY, and all others things. Now let's test WebForge, which is the mode which I find really interesting and most unique. Here is a canvas where you draw a sketch of a website, and the artificial intelligence generates you a website based on your drawing. For example, here are some templates which you can start with, or if you don't want to start with these templates, you can always click F and start drawing on canvas without a template. But for now, let's stick with the template. Here you can see this is a demo template of a SaaS website, and here all users can change everything. They can change the cover, they can change the text, and all other things. And here is the preview. Like here you can see what it will look as a website. You can mark some elements. For example, when you draw something with a pen, let me extend here. When you draw something as a pen, you can mark this and remove it. For example, you can also select some square and talk to the artificial intelligence and say to it that it's a, for example, it's a navbar, it's a hero. This way, the artificial intelligence makes it more easier for the artificial intelligence to understand what you want and what to build. Here you can add more text when you click this button. This is for the photo. You can add images. Here is the button. Here you can add another navbar. And here are the components that most of the websites have. Some of the components are like model, tools, drop-down table. My personal favorite is the calendar, which I really like. So let's put it right here. And here is the pen, which we write. And here you can find most of the tools that are introduced also in the solo mode. Here are basically some of them are here. You can use them. You can use the rubber and even the bucket. Now you can see I can, here it's me again, and now we can test this with our hand. We can draw anything with our hand if we want. We can also talk, so when we talk louder it becomes more thicker, and here is we can change the color between these ones, or we can add a custom color, for example like this, and all other things. So you can return something or you can delete your canvas. Here are some voice commands. You can put your mic on and talk some voice commands, which you can read about in the guide here. You can also change the cover based on your emotion, which we tested earlier. You can you can start building a new website. You can change the view, and you can analyze. You can generate a website. So you can change also the name. Here you can see the design that it's got before it starts to generate your website. When you're happy with what you have done, you can click here on Generative website and it starts generating your website. The whole process is that the drawing that you have made, it converts to image, it converts to PNG, and that image is introduced to the artificial intelligence. I use Gemini API key. So I give this image to the Gemini API and it returns a website, it returns a general website which you can host on Vercel, or you can download the zip and host it anywhere you want. Now I have some issue with the Gemini API key because I have run out of tokens with this demo video, but you can test it for yourself when you go here on this link. You can test it and I hopefully have fixed the bug and you can generate your own website. So let's now see the social mode. Here is something like a platform where all users can get inspiration and show their project. For example, here you can share your 3D sculpture, you can share your image that you have drawn, and this mode have all the things you need. Here's the heart, you can comment, you can share it, or you can even remix it. Here when you click remix, it opens and you can draw your own based on the shared one. So here also you can follow some persons. You can see the trendings, which are the most liked one. This is the most liked one and becomes the first. And you can search by posts and creators. Here are all other filters. Here is a seasonal award. Everyone can compete in this seasonal award, and it depends on 4 categories: 2D painting, 3D sculpture, portrait and mood, collective canvas, and all users can compete with each others for these teams, and the winners win a champion badge, which is something that stimulates the user to introduce his vision, his art, and to become more art person and to compete with others. Here is challenges, is basically like a hackathon, but I like to call it like a drawathon, which you create a new challenge, you pick a team, you can add a short description and you can add a duration of the challenge, and it's some challenges that all other people compete. For example, here I have made a challenge who can draw best a dog. Here is the leaderboards, which is the ranked by the champion badge, the total likes, and the arena points, which you can earn from seasonal awards and from challenges. Here is the archive where you can find history of your own drawings. You can download it, you can delete it. It's basically some place that saves your art, and you can go back here and download it, everything you want. You can edit it and so on. Finally, let's see the profile page. In the profile page you can see information about your nickname, when you have become a member of the project, of the platform. You can share your account. Here are the achievements and the badges you earn when you compete in different challenges. This way you stimulate the user to generate more art and express their feelings. Here you can use a custom avatar that you have drawn in the mirror mode. So when you have drawn some avatar in the mirror mode, you can change it, for example, to see on the webcam, not your real face, but the avatar you have drawn. For example, when I go to soul mode and turn on my camera, you can see now I'm a face, which I have saved from the mood mode. And with that you can be secure and not worry about your identity, for example. Here is the mood over time if you have recorded something, and here you can basically find information from the archive. Chorus isn't just another drawing application, it's an entirely new way of creating art with technology and your own expression. Thank you everyone for the attention. This is my demo video for the Hack the Arts hackathon. I hope you like it.